Greetings, programs, and welcome back to ArcNeo Reviews, where today we're taking a look at the recent Walmart reissue of G1 Starscream. And this is a bit of an interesting figure, actually. So, as you can see, we're starting off here in plane mode. The plane mode is incredibly gappy, and I won't lie, part of me wonders if the real G1 figure held together a little better. Because you can see, this is all molded to line up perfectly. It just can't go down in far enough. And yeah, that's one thing we're going to go over throughout this. There's a lot of differences between this guy and the actual G1. So I wonder if that's a difference. I don't know. I can't actually say. But other than that, really cool looking jet mode, actually. I want to say it's an F-15 or an F-18. I don't know my planes very well, I admit. But definitely a good looking figure. And, like, as you can see relative to my hand, he is fairly large, actually. He does actually have firing missiles down here in his null rays, which is cool, because usually we end up losing firing missiles in figures. And interestingly enough, he also came with these missiles instead. So you get a pair of those, and a pair of these. And, you know, these ones work exactly the same. I'm going to just pop this out so I can actually get a hold of it. But just pops in, fires, just like the other one. As I understand, the original figure came with a version of these that was like short, so it would sit right there on the null ray. I don't know why they randomly... It's like, if you're gonna let us have a firing missile, why did you make it longer for the reissue? Like, isn't the fact it shoots already, you know, too big of a hazard to Timmy? But me being annoyed with inconsistent safety standards aside, just going to go ahead, I'm going to pop off the other missile, or null ray, I guess, get it out of the way, and we're going to start transforming this guy. Very large air quotes, because when people talk about parts forming, they're talking about this guy, because we're literally just going to take him apart to transform him. I guess really quick before we do that, he does have, you know, the little rub symbol. These new ones, like, are always a little bit visible, so doesn't take too much to reveal it. They do only go red. They don't actually have, you know, the multicolors like the original ones, but they're cool, and they're cool either way. But transform this guy, we're gonna rip him to bits. So, gonna reach down here, pull off the landing gear, pray we don't lose them, pull off the wings, and then technically you would even pull off these tail fins, but all I'm going to do is unpeg them slightly, rotate them forward, and as you can see, now they line up with this fin. I'm just going to leave them like that. I believe that is, like, ultimately that's where you're going to put them anyway, if I read the very strange G1 directions correctly. But just going to do that, then come down here. The landing gear actually will just tuck up into his heel, which is actually pretty cool. And these are also spring-loaded, so they do click into place pretty nicely, actually. Go ahead and bring the camera up. As you can see, his head is just hiding there in the nose of the plane. And I'm sure the white balance and contrast on this video is going to be horrible, because once again, shiny, shiny G1 stickers. But we're going to come back here, push your finger up through the bottom to get these two pieces out and around. Then you're going to take this piece, and this is the part that's hard for me to remember how it works, because it is actually very, very weird. But you're going to bring it forward a bit, and oh, I just went the other way. Eventually, okay, right. So, take it, bring it down, fold this down, push it up through there, bring this up, and then fold down the nose. As you can see, it's a bit of a weird step. It's pretty cool, actually, but one of those things that's a little tricky to remember. And, technically, we're done here. Go ahead and try to get the camera back in view. So, we're going to take these two pieces here. We're going to plug on his completely separate hands. So, just snap on here. And as you can see, there's a little hook right there that's going over this slot to hold it on. If I can get a hold of this guy to actually put this on. That hand does like to fight me sometimes. And then you're going to... Oh, I forgot. You need to take these two pieces, rotate them back, and then actually going to take the wings and plug them in like that. So, that's his side profile. And that is, there you have G1 Starscream. And he's interesting. I do really like this guy. You know, Starscream is one of my favorite characters. See if I can get him in here so you can kind of see the face. He does have metallic gold eyes, which is pretty cool. A decent little head sculpt there for what he is. What is cool is, like, this whole red piece in his torso, that entire thing is metal. So this guy is actually really, really heavy. And that will always make me happy with a figure, is when I get a nice big chunk of die cast going on. So, as you'd expect, you can take the null rays. Go ahead and get this one put back together. And plug these into his forearms. There are little molded out spots there that will fit around here to help try to keep it straight. They don't quite go in, but it's just enough that it helps. Posability on this guy is limited, shall we say. You basically just have a rotation at the arm, and then some in and out from the joint you use to actually, fold these up into the plane mode. That's it. The head doesn't do anything. You can wiggle the rubber nose cone. But yeah, basically no posability. He looks fantastic. I won't lie though, these stickers are like the bane of my existence, because this is just one sticker that you had to wrap around all of this. So, we'll see how well that holds up. And, worth mentioning, new to this version of the figure, they actually included Megatron. We got a G1 gun mode Megatron in scale with Starscream. So, you actually just go ahead, rip it in half right there, plug the top half into his hand, and then there's a tab coming out of the bottom of his hand right there, if I can get the light to focus on it, that this will just plug over, and you can actually have Starscream wielding Megatron. So, never forget, Starscream's original, or Megatron's original role was Starscream's Target Master. Megatron was the first Target Master, and he was wielded by this unreliable, untrustworthy sack of crap. There's something wonderful about that. But overall, yeah, very weird figure, very plain in its transformation and stuff. And again, you do literally just take it apart and put it back together differently. But I still really like this guy. You know, Starscream is my favorite character. And for as weird as this one is, being a G1 figure, yeah, I'm actually pretty down with them. So, thank you guys for watching, and before we end, I do actually have a couple things. One, my Patreon is actually already live. I did not expect that to be going on right now, so I'm a little unprepared for that. Because when I submitted it for, like, approval, it was just instantly approved. I know that they're doing some stuff a little different right now because of all the, disaster going on and stuff. So, I have a Patreon, links in the description. There's also a PayPal if you just want to do a one-time thing. Major thanks to anyone who decides they want to do that or is even thinking about doing that. And next week, I will be doing Primetime Part 2. So, keep your eyes out for that. And I will see you guys next time.